to spread the word and the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the entire world. So first story, a true gospel moments, number one, that happened in my life. I'll do it the day I got saved. So I lived in Ewing Township, and my friend Sterick lived in Lawrence Township. And I was in the village, which was like a community with just mothers and no fathers, just, they call it the village. And he had friends over his house, females. And I was a young man and I thought I was nice looking, so I was like, hey, let me go shoot my shot. So I went over there to talk to the ladies. And they were all talking about God. My whole life I was in the church. My mother, my grandmother, everybody, Baptist, Pentecostal. I was in the church my whole life. But and I could have added a lot to the conversation, but this particular day, I said nothing. Matter of fact, I sat there in complete silence as they talked about Jesus and getting saved and all this type of stuff, because I believe at that time the Lord had started to put me, he put me in a trance. While sitting there with everybody else, in my mind, I was in New York City. I was carrying a briefcase. I was on my way to work. And while I was on my way to work, because that's where I always imagined myself as a child. I would work in New York City with my uncle. And while I was on my way to work in Manhattan, the trumpet in the sky blew from God. And all I heard was this loud trumpet. It was huge. It was like as if you ever been to any type of stadium or a Tampa stadium when they blow the trumpets every time the Bucks score a touchdown. It was louder than that. The world stopped, at least the world of New York City, and everybody looked up. And at the time when we looked up, the sky broke open, and all you saw was this bright light and Jesus and descending from heaven on a cloud. And it was really exactly how the Bible depicted it. Now, I've never read Revelations up to that point. So when I did read Revelations and, seen all this, it was amazing. But anyway, Jesus was descending on the cloud and he stopped in the clouds and you could see just his figure and the bright lights behind him. And I started to see all the people of God going to heaven. And of course, at that time, because I was on the ground and looking at them, I wasn't one of them. So everybody was going to glory. Everybody that was saved, dead, present, past, and future, they were all going up to heaven. And I was left behind. And as soon as they all left, then kind of like a misty darkness covered, and the earth of the middle of the street in Manhattan, the earth ripped open. And out came this humongous demon and all these other little minions that was among him. And he had a long tail. He was huge, sort of like a Godzilla type figure, but like a man demonic head with horns and all that type of stuff. Anything you can think of demonic, that's what it was. And it grabbed and it was shoving people in the hole with its tail, throwing people in the hole. And out of all the people running around in New York City, he grabbed me and said, "You big dummy, you should have got saved." Picked me up and threw me into the pit. Now, immediately coming out of that trance, you know what I did? I went and got saved. I asked the Lord to come into my heart. I asked him to save me. I asked him to be my Lord and Savior. And I was 14 years old. And that happened over 40-something years ago. I love the Lord to this day. And I hope this story helps someone in their life. God bless.